Episode 167 Above Ground Podcast. Honesty.
Disclaimer. The hosts of this podcast, Timothy Patrick and Will Foley, are by no means medical professionals. However, having lived experience with mental illness themselves, they have gained useful perspectives on common mental health issues that some of us struggle to overcome on a daily basis. By sharing their stories, they hope to create connection. By creating connection, they hope to help you find your purpose. And through purpose, we can all begin to build the foundation for positive mental health. This is Above Ground Podcast.
Coming at you live with real conversations about mental health from the perspective. It's time for Above Ground Podcast. Now your hosts, TPP and Will Foley.
Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 167 Above Ground Podcast, which we're going to get to momentarily. But wow, what a summer it's been here in the 518 and beyond. And I wanted to talk to you about some awesome things coming up for Above Ground Podcast and things going on in the 518. If you're here in the Albany, Troy, Schenectady area, if you're here visiting from the, coming to Saratoga, get away from the horse track, man. Save your money, save the horses, and save your mental health by coming out to some of these big events. This Saturday, August 27th, it is the final Summer on Central concert series being brought to you by WAMC, which is Saturdays in August outside at the Linda, which is the awesome theater that is kitty-cornered to WAMC, which happens to be our local NPR affiliate. And this Saturday, it is the Nippertown Final Four concert. Which every March Madness year that Nippertown has been going, Jim and the crew put this big bracket on of all the 518 bands and stuff, and they break it down by bracket, and the Final Four are actually playing this show on Saturday, August 27th, and it's Pony and the Pancake Girl Blue Shortwave Radio Band and Side B. And this is also being brought to you by Empire Audio, WEQX, and of course WEXT 97.7. Radio X is involved too. The Linda is an amazing place. It was the first time I was there a couple weeks ago for the very first one on August 6th, which we had a lot of rain, but it was a wonderful event, and I can't wait to be there on Saturday. Then on next Wednesday, August 31st, it is International Overdose Awareness Day, and Above Ground Podcast, who just had this last week at episode 166 for the love of Stephen, Sarah Lynn. She is doing a big event at the Hangar on the Hudson in Troy, New York, called For the Love of Stephen, benefit and fundraiser. Stephen was her daughter's father and her partner and long time love, and she lost him due to a fentanyl overdose. And the story is, the story will tug at your heartstrings, man. So go check out last week's episode if you did not, For the Love of Stephen, episode 166. So Hangar on the Hudson on Wednesday, August 31st. Doors are at 6 p.m. And I will say, man, it's loaded with talent too, because our friend here, Nikki Chaos's alt-rock duo Curious Comet is playing, Raisin Head is playing, and so are from Brooklyn, New York, Lizzie and the Makers. And they also have a special guest with them, Reeves Gabriels, who has played with David Bowie and all kinds of other artists, massive artists, and he will be sitting in with them. And Above Ground Podcast will be there to support, and we'll be there with all the resources. I'm collecting resources. I have been for a couple of weeks now, trying to get as many substance abuse related resources as I can to add to the mental health stuff. So please come out and support. It's a $20 suggested donation. Radio X is a big sponsor of it, and we're looking forward to doing it, and we want to bring out as many people as we can. Nikki Chaos, who is in Curious Comet, is an awesome, awesome person and a great musician herself. And so we want to just support. We want to support and remember, because this is about remembrance and getting people inspired to advocate for better harm reduction and just better everything when it comes to the loss of everyone that suffers from addiction. As we all know, addiction and mental illness often run together. So come on out August 31st and support. And thank you so much for an amazing summer, an amazing year so far. Please keep coming back with the reviews and the coffees, and we appreciate it very much. Yannicka, our good friend overseas, never ceases to amaze me. She's awesome, and every once in a while you'll see her name pop up in our Buy Me a Coffee, and I don't know if I thanked her for the last time she did, but I just wanted to put that out there. So right now, episode 167, Honesty.
What's up? Welcome to Above Ground Podcast.
Above Ground Podcast, because you can't serve below.
That's right. You cannot serve below. What does that mean exactly? It means that you're a statistic if you're under the ground, right? That's right. You can't help anybody if you're dead.
It's true.
I mean, maybe you can. Okay? And I'm not saying that in this weird, convoluted way, but I'm saying, well, maybe there is a way you can help people if you're dead, if you're a bad person. But if you're honest,
What a great way to start the episode.
Maybe you can avoid that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Look, mental health, dude. We've had this conversation off mic in the last, in like right before we did one of our last episodes, and I even said, like, after a while, mental health becomes just static to me at times. But I have to be honest with myself.
Right.
Honesty. That's what we're talking about today.
You can't handle the truth.
No, I really can't.
No, I think, you know what, though? I think honesty I think the most important thing is to be honest with yourself.
I'm going to be honest with everybody here. This all came up because our friend of the show, Kevin Maloney, that's right, Kevin Maloney, gave us this idea.
He cringes every time.
He cringes every time I say his name. Excuse me. Sorry.
Guitarist extraordinaire.
That's right. And for anybody who listens to the show, you get to hear his handiwork every time you listen to the show, because the intro and outro are his creation. That's right.
It's true.
That's right. He did original work for us because he loves us.
Yes.
And we begged him.
Yeah, so be honest about it, Will.
That's right. Please write it.
So how do you want to tackle this? Where do you want to start?
Well, why is it so hard for us to be honest with ourselves?
Do you think it's harder to be honest with yourself than it is to be honest with other people?
For me, I think it's equal.
Equal? That's fair.
I do think it's equal because when this got brought up, we were like, "Oh, this is going to be fun,"
Yeah,
and then
now
we're
we're
like,
like,
"Oh, fuck, man."
We weren't honest with ourselves.
That's right. We weren't honest with ourselves about how hard this is going to be.
But I think sometimes just doing it might, like, we don't realize it, but just like if someone were to watch us in the process of doing an episode, they would be like, we're being honest. You know what I mean? It's not like we're, you know what I mean? I think now that we're fixated and like we got to be on, we're talking about honesty, but like, I mean, besides the times we're being like sarcastic and joking around, we're honest with when we talk about mental health.
Well, we're honest when we talk about mental health, but are we honest though? Well, I guess, you know what? I think we're going to have a little clarification, Timmy.
Oh, you getting out the Oxford?
I am getting out the old, the old Google-ford.
The Google-ford?
The Google-ford.
We're going to get we're all going to get a definition from Will. on honesty. We're going to get an honest definition.
We're going to get an honest definition. That's right.
How honest was the person when they defined it?
Do we ever know?
And how honest was the person who transcribed it into on Google?
Well, why would they not be? Why? But why?
I don't know. Maybe they got paid.
Dude, don't be one of those fucking conspiracy theorists. Jesus Christ. Isn't there enough of you fucking people in the world?
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
Bigfoot lives.
Yeah, Bigfoot lives in your fucking brain.
Come on, man. You cannot say that there's no Sasquatch.
I really can't say there's no Sasquatch. That I cannot say.
Damn.
Because I can't say for sure.
Right up in Whitehall, New York, they've seen them.
Yeah. Well, honesty is the quality of being honest. How's that for a fucking definition?
We're all waiting patiently for this big, grand definition.
But there's 5 attributes of honesty.
Ooh. Let her rip.
Although that's what it says. What are the 5 attributes of honesty? But it lists fucking 9. So it's not even like, really? Truthfulness, sincerity, integrity, responsibility, dedication, contentment, transparency, and probity. What the?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know if that's actually a real word. This is from the COFA study, which I don't know what that is. This is just my Googleator bringing this up. But it does say that these are many attributes of honesty. So truthfulness, sincerity, integrity, responsibility, dedication, contentment, transparency, probity, trustworthiness, and uprightness. All right, so here we go. Probity, it is a moral and honest way of behaving.
Okay. But, yeah, okay, that's fine. But I just...
truthfulness. An honest person is always truthful in any situation. But are we really truthful in any situation? No, we're not. I'm not fucking truthful in every situation. No. I'm not. I'd be lying if I said I was.
I'm sure there's a lot of truth to it, though. I mean,
there's truth to it, but is it truthfulness without being completely truthful? And this is great, though, because this sparks a debate. Is it possible for anybody to be completely transparently honest? Because, again, isn't it all subjective to the person? I mean, yes. Okay, honesty, okay. You see a $5 bill... Like, you see the coins on the counter. It's not like you're picking up the little plastic tray and dumping them all in your pocket. Okay? That's one part of honesty.
Okay.
However, I mean, can you be completely honest and transparent and everything and literally say that?
I don't, I have
Or is it subjective because of your experience and what you think?
I don't know. I have a thing with transparency. I know you like it a lot. With truth, obviously, yeah, being honest, that situation is fine. But I mean, at the same time, I think in certain situations, I personally, this is my opinion, feel that not everyone deserves to hear your honesty or truth or your transparency.
I will tell you, I've had a change on this myself recently. Is that, you know what? Not everybody does deserve to hear your story.
Nice. Okay.
And it's not because your story is not worthy of telling, but your story is so worthy of telling that you don't need to tell it to everybody.
I agree.
And
I think there's a safetiness to it. I like does that person is that person going to take your story and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
A lot of people will.
I know, and I don't know if that is a dysfunctional way of thinking, but it's just my way of thinking.
I would say that's more of a human way of thinking. However, it gets exacerbated by certain conditions or thoughts or experiences, or even mental illness. I mean, someone who is a schizophrenic who hears voices, doesn't understand transparency in the way that someone who doesn't have that illness
can.
Yeah, there's actually a lot to this now that
Because again, these are all taco dip situations where it's 7 layers. And then every layer, repeats itself depending on how deep you get into the crust. I mean, because you can have 2 layers of, cheese and a layer of beef and then a layer of beef underneath.
And you could also like only the top layer, so you could avoid the bottom layers.
You could, but if the top layer is fucking lettuce and you want the sour cream underneath,
Maybe they like the lettuce.
Well, you can't. Well, I like the lettuce, but that doesn't.
Be honest,
has
Will.
nothing to do.
Be honest, Will. Do you like lettuce?
I am being honest.
Be honest, Will. What's your favorite layer in the dip?
My favorite layer is the lettuce.
Really?
No.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
That would have been so cool,
dude. I'm talking about a different kind of lettuce here.
I know.
And it ain't cash, motherfucker.
Easy.
It ain't cash. Money.
All right. So I, let me go back to something, because you, in one of those, the probation word, probity word,
and probity. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Well, it had something to do with it. It used the word moral, right, or morality.
Yes. Yeah.
So, is the truth always moral?
Unfortunately, no.
Right. Okay. That's kind of what I was
However, though, is the truth really...
I mean, the truth is the truth, I guess, right? Like if there's
but is it?
Well, okay.
Is it in this day and age? Because
here's a pen. I put a pen on the table, Will. That's
dude,
true.
that's a pencil. That's a pencil.
Well,
no, I'm sorry. No, that's a pencil. It's got fucking lead. It's a pencil. It's a pencil. And you know what? I'm going to write some math problems with it. It's a pencil. And
Okay.
that's the problem that I have. And that's where we kind of get into
But
honesty.
who's saying it's a pencil, though? Like
I'm saying it's a pencil because that's my positive psychology telling me I can be anything I want to be. That's a pencil.
I think you're taking it a little
No, I'm not. No, you don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose because
I agree,
it doesn't
but
fit.
that
Oh no, somebody's gonna.
I think calling something a pencil that's not a pencil, though. Like, I think that's I don't know if that falls in the category of positive psychology. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Positive psychology. One of the attributes is that if you believe something, it can be true.
All right, so then,
I can believe all I want that that's a fucking pencil, but it's never going to be a pencil. But if I control the narrative, I can make you believe it's a fucking pencil.
Okay, so
that is a problem. That is a problem because and that is the problem.
So that can be your truth. That's a pencil, and then okay.
But this is where I have the problem. In honesty, that's not a pencil, but you're willing to give up your argument about that being a pen because you don't want to deal with me. That's the problem that I have. That's the problem that I have. That's the problem that I have with everything about not being...
But if the roles were reversed...
It doesn't matter if the roles are reversed or not.
But for you, though, I'm just asking you personally because you have a problem with it. So I personally don't want to waste my time with that because it's not worth my time and energy. Like that, my 3 fuck rule.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
here's the thing, though.
That.
Why is it not worth your time?
Because I know it's a pen and it's not worth arguing over.
What makes you the owner of the fact that that's a pen? And it's okay for you to not fight that.
Well, it's not. I'm not the owner of anything. It's just I'm using the components of it. There's not lead. You know what I mean? It's ink. So I'm going by facts of the pen, and I'm using those facts as.
We've already proven in this culture over the last 2 years that facts don't matter. Okay? Facts don't matter anymore.
Do you think they should matter?
Yes, they should matter.
Well,
because guess what? There are certain facts that you cannot deny.
Okay.
Period.
Right.
No matter what your fucking positive psychology book says,
right.
No matter what your fucking religion book says
I agree.
There's only one this, there's only one that. No. Okay, it's not. It's not fact because you can't even prove that your fact is fucking right.
Well, I don't know exactly. what you're talking about. So I don't.
I'm talking about being honest, right? So I'm talking about controlling the narrative.
Right.
So I'm talking about you can say, and look, it's a pen. No doubt about it. No doubt about it's a pen. However, people who have the bully pulpit, people that have more power, people that have more energy, more whatever, can say that that's a pencil. They can even create things to prove their point that it's a pencil, and people believe that. And that's a good thing?
No, it's not.
Right, it's not.
Yeah.
But we should be able to believe whatever the fuck we want, right?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's almost. This is based off that Adlerian psychology. It's the separation of tasks. Okay, so like my task would be like to say, well, I gained the facts of what makes a pen to get my honest opinion that this is a pen. And if
you took it apart, you unscrewed it.
Right, so some narrative
it doesn't have lead, it doesn't
has other, like, it's just like, and they make other people believe whatever. Like, it's not my task to, I can say, hey, look, this is a pen because the same way I explain it to you, and say, hey, this is and if they don't want to believe that, I can't, like, me personally, I have no part in it. Like, I did my part, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like with this mental illness, with this mental health stuff, okay? So I can't change the fucking world. I could barely change somebody else's mind. But what I can do is work on myself and then take what I know and kind of push it out into my circle and say, hey, here's, check this out and check this out. You know what I mean? And maybe it'll spread, maybe it won't. But at the same time, my task is to be honest to myself and spread that, what I know to be true and what my experience is, and say, these are my experiences. I'm not saying it's going to be yours, but these are mine. So you use these as this.
But when is it okay? And how do you, so how do you be honest with someone who is convinced that something is the opposite of what it really is? And can you?
You be on, just tell your aunt whatever, how you, like you just did, like however you feel about it, do that.
But what if it's easily proven wrong?
Like what?
Like anything, dude. Anything that has facts. Somebody can say that the sky is black,
right?
Okay, but it's not. It's blue. Blue. Okay. I don't give a shit if you're colorblind or not. You're not going to see black in the sky. You're just not.
Right.
But how do you win that? How does that? How is that? Again,
that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'm just saying.
So does honesty have a limit?
What do you mean?
So again, like
it's more for me. It's more about my piece. Like, I'm not gonna, if someone's gonna really take a stand and argue that the sky is black, like I can't have that shit. Like, if you want to believe the sky is black, go ahead. Like, go right ahead.
Yeah, but when it starts affecting you, so how does someone else's inability to be honest with you start affecting you, and you start to get, you know what I mean? Because again,
some of it will, and you won't have some will, and you won't have a control over. But so focus on the stuff that you do have control over. If it's family, or if it's my immediate circle of friends or whatever, my partner, focus on that. Like, and if there's a problem, they're like if they're arguing that the sky's black, or if they're trying to change, that's an interpersonal relationship issue, and you have to sit down and have an honest conversation and say, this is what I'm feeling, and I'm going to put it on the table, and let's talk, because I feel that what you think and what this is and what that, blah, 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 let's get honest with each other and try to have a what's the word? Like a positive communication and comprehension thing.
But in a situation like that, can you truly be honest? Because
is
honesty
just because
is honesty subjective? Because again, doesn't there have to be some sort of agreement that doesn't there have to be the agreement that 2 + 2 is 4?
Yeah, but I think honesty and And 2 plus 4, I mean,
Well, 2 plus 4 is 6, so 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 6. 2 plus 2 equals 4.
All right, whatever I said. What did I say?
You were going to say 2 plus 4, and I was
Okay.
like, that's not...
All right, that's fine. So 2 plus 2 is what you used, right?
Yes. So 2 plus 2 is 4. That's what we've agreed on.
And
That's
I think,
what
but
we've...
I think that is like I don't even know if I'd call that like an honest truth. I think that's just a fact. Is 2 plus 2
Well,
equals 4?
isn't a fact honest truth? Truth isn't subjective, is it?
See, I think...
Or is it...
I think
because again, so...
Truth may be a bit subjective, but I think like a scientific fact from scientific data is just that. It's just data. Like you can take it and you can put your bias and subjective on it and fucking spread it like venom. But at the end of the day, if I have a problem and say I want to know if this is a pen or a pencil, I have to come and I have to read the work and go, how did they come to this, and read the scientific data, and then there. Like I can't make you do it, right? If you want to believe that whatever you believe, like I can only do my part. You know what I mean? Like I can do my part and say, hey, you might want to look at this again, and then base it off of the other person. And if they start going off, then you just I can't. Me personally, I want no part of that.
All right, so it's a personal choice then to whether or not you
absolutely
you get deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think if you choose to lead, to lead the pack or whatever you want to call it, then go for it. Yeah. But I also think that throughout history, some of the people may go about it wrong. You know what I mean? I think there's an honest way to communicate, and
Well, there's an honest way to
Because-
communicate, but
Well,
I
I
don't
think-
think I honestly don't think that we honestly communicate honestly. I don't think 98% of the world isn't communicating honestly.
Let's kind of go off of what I said. So you start with yourself to work on being more honest with people you speak with.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's it. So I'm just saying it like that. I think that instead of you saying like worrying about China and if people are whatever they're getting fed by this or that, like focus on you and what you can do, and start with you and like, kind of.
I understand, and like honestly, I get to start with you, but the start with you stops at a certain point because again, it's not all about you. It's not all about me, right?
Well, no.
So again, if you're honest with yourself, you're like, well, it's not really about me, but people make it all about them.
Well, that's their issue. That's not yours. That's what I mean. Like you have to kind of cut it off. Like that's about them. If I go up and get a fucking hamburger at a store, if I'm in line and I'm like, give me a hamburger, and someone's like, no, you want a hot dog, like then I just go, okay, well, I'll just leave the store and I'm going to go somewhere where I can get my hot dog in peace or hamburger in peace and not get, you know what I mean? Like you have to.
What happens though when the hot dog's the only choice? And you want a hamburger and you've gone to that place, but they tell you they're hamburgers, but they're giving you hot dogs. So where's the honesty there?
That's when I mean, there is that's yeah. I mean, that's an extreme situation.
It's not an extreme situation. It's literally just an analogy of things. Like, and that's not just my experience. That's
I feel
life.
like if in a situation like that, there's other rebels out there somewhere that are like-minded that will have a hamburger for me. You just have to search them out, find, do a little research and see where I can go and not surround myself with ignorance.
Okay. So the thing is, though, is that so then you're avoiding. You surround yourself with people who just think about what you think and want what you want, and that creates an echo chamber
That's not
of
avoiding, though.
But
am I going to change
we being
the mind
honest?
Absolutely, yeah.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying, but in honesty though, is that like, I mean, is that
because that's what I see. I see everybody who wants to gravitate towards what they think is right, and that's where they're staying.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's destroying everything.
Well, you're right. It is, but I think it's almost, if some of that might be like human condition, like go back to the fucking caveman days, and you are safe within numbers and tribes. Like you have to, and then I'm going to take it a step further and say, like, go to the foundation of things, and everyone has some kind of self-love deficit. Right? So if I'm joining this group and everyone's chanting and I start chanting what you're chanting, guess what? I have worth because I'm being accepted by this idiot that's next to me that's chanting. And I'm going to be another idiot chanting because I want to fit in. Because my need to fit in is more important than fucking honesty.
But is it a need to fit in, or is it a need to fill what you think all along? So are you being honest with yourself? That's the point. Like, when is it honesty and when is it just fucking stupidity? Like, there's a fine line between honesty and stupidity.
I think it depends on the person. I think if you, I don't know if I really follow actually what you're saying, but I think it depends on the person. Like if you, I don't know, like you're just making me want to like buy a cabin in the woods, away from people.
That ain't gonna fucking help a situation either. That's avoidance. That's avoidance. That's avoidance. Yeah. That's like, and it's interesting because thank goodness for Kev being here. I love it. It's awesome.
No, it is.
And it's again though, when does honesty become like, when is honesty used? Have I been the most honest person in my life? Fuck no, I haven't. Okay, I haven't. I have not. I've done things in my life that I have been completely unhonest about.
Let me ask you this: because you seem to be passionate about some of this. So, what is it that bothers you the most about like the honesty and like if you feel, do you feel like you want to be more honest? Or you just want other people to be more honest?
Both.
Okay.
Both. But the thing about it is that I think right now, I think a lot of people are being honest.
But what if
what that honesty shows me is that this world is really fucked up.
Well, again, though, but then you're falling.
No, I'm not. But like, that's just a fact.
Well, if I'm being honest, though, and I'm telling you like my honest opinion, and then you're like, well, now we're fucked because my opinion's different than yours.
It's not about opinion. It's about what you do with that opinion. You can have an opinion, okay? Right. Opinions are like assholes. We all got them. They all stink.
Right.
But it's what you do with that. So most of us go to the bathroom, wipe our asses, flush, and go. Now there's others who take that and spread it on the walls. Okay? So I'm just saying, like,
all right, well, let me ask you, in that situation, how would you handle that? Would you go up there and clean the feces off the wall?
I'm not sure. That's why. But
okay, then you can't.
But that's full honesty, though. I don't know.
I know. But
I don't know.
What I'm saying, and I'm going to be honest back and say, I don't know. If you don't know if you would, if that's the position you take, then I feel that you don't necessarily get the right to shame somebody else for not doing it.
I don't think, but I think we misplaced the word shame. Again,
okay, maybe we've
co-opted language.
Maybe that was a bad choice.
Calling somebody out on a bad opinion is not shaming anybody. Period. Okay? If you feel shame, then what is your fucking problem with feeling shame?
If you can call them out on it, but I think that part's fine, but don't try and coerce them into believing what you believe.
Well, yes, that I agree. Because coercion doesn't do anything but cause all kinds of problems.
Right, okay.
But, again, though, if we're being honest,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
no, I agree. And I think some of the problem in that lies with, I'm just going to say, you calling out on somebody, that person may feel attacked when you may not be you're just like, dude, wait a minute. Like, you're trying to like actually help a situation, and that person may feel attacked. So that might be another variable to it.
Well, here's the thing. That's on them.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
is
not
that
saying
on
it's
you?
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that that's a variable that you know what I mean? Because then you get into a whatever. You're not in your wise mind. You're in the emotional mind, and then he may start doing this, and she may start doing that, and then you know what? And then where's that honesty? Then the honesty you're not even focused on anymore because you're focused on whatever the flip you're focused on.
Well, now I'm going to flip us all around. Why are we not honest about our mental health issues?
Where do you start? I'll kind of just give it a quick roundabout answer. Is the stigma behind it. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I think the not understanding. I think some people may not know either. Like you said, I think we've kind of been accustomed in society where people take a word and it actually has like a different, it's like a grapevine. Like he says a word, okay?
Well, it's like
and
telephone.
then by the time it gets to me,
Right.
It's operationally different. It's not even the fucking definition of the word. And I'm out here chanting it, and then we're like, wait, that's not what that word means.
I agree with you.
So,
However, isn't it up to us to figure out what those words actually mean?
the individual?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
So that means that most of us are just operating on our old values, old shit, whatever somebody spoon fed us, whatever
Maybe.
somebody told us.
Yeah.
But why is it? Is it they're not being honest with themselves? Or are they being honest with themselves and really believe that shit? Because again, like, you can, like, honesty is one thing, man. Honesty is one thing. But you can have honesty and still be an asshole. Because your honest opinion can still be a fucking dick-headed opinion.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. But they're being honest, so would you rather them not be honest? That's, I guess, my question.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know because I really don't know.
No,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know if that makes it. I don't know if that makes it better, or if it makes it worse.
Well, that's what I was trying to like say. If you're telling your honest, you're being honest to somebody, and they take it and misconstrued it or whatever it is. But then that's what I mean. Like then that kind of goes to the question of why aren't we more honest? And maybe past
Are we not
experiments-
more honest because we're afraid?
Because let me equate it, and maybe I'm totally wrong with this, but let me equate it with if there's somebody that you're walking down the street, whatever, and they're maybe their car's down or whatever, and they're on the side of the road and they want help, and you just go by because you've seen like horrible acts that people like play games and they're like pretending like to be hurt or something, and someone goes to help them and they stab you or they rob you or whatever it is. So people are like, you know what? They're going to stay in their lane because they don't want to deal with it. It's there's a lot of variables.
Is that avoidance, or is that
dude? I don't know. I don't think it is avoidance because I think it's more of like staying in your lane and just going, you know what? Like, I need, I have this life and I don't want to take a chance. Like, it's like gambling. Like, do I want to just throw $100 on a table and leave here with, nothing?
Well, why? But wow.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying these are just something to think about. I'm just saying, like, I think some people think that way. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, shit happens. This world that we're in is pretty, crazy. There's a lot of shit that happens, and people don't want to get mixed up in it. And I can't blame sometimes. I would probably, depending on the situation, if I was in a strange place, if it was nighttime, I don't know. I have no idea.
And this is the same reason why I don't think that all of us should be sitting at a booth hearing people's stories, just like we talked about. Because if you don't if you're not capable of hearing that and knowing what to do,
Yeah.
you're going to do a disservice to somebody. And I think that there has to be a fine line between.
There is a fine line. So it's I agree with you 100%, but I think there could be. Let me ask you this: do you think there could be some service to just listening, though? Maybe if we
absolutely, okay. And unfortunately for me, I can't just listen.
I'm with you.
Again, it's not. It's just because
I know
that's just how I am now and stuff. But
maybe it's how we. Let's get back to being honest. Maybe it's how we communicate and how we approach. Like if someone were to come to the booth and I was there, and I have to be accountable for my words, and I have to say things like, you know what? In my personal experience, I can tell you what happened if you want to hear it. So it's almost like saying, like, this isn't. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not telling you how things are going to go for you. I'm sharing what happened with me, and that might help shed some light on yours.
Well, that could be honesty.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wow.
Going back to honesty, I know.
Solving our big fucking world problems here.
Yeah, right. With our 10 listeners.
Yeah, with our 10 followers.
I mean, but
Nothing
no,
like some levity to this show.
There's a lot to this whole honesty now that we're talking about it. I'm just like,
honesty,
right?
Such a lonely word. Whatever it is, there. Will, sorry.
You know, I think some of it might, another variable might be that some people just don't have the ability to be sincere. Maybe depending on the way they grew up.
Hold on a second, though, man.
What?
Sincerity and honesty. Do sincerity and honesty go hand in hand?
That was one of the words that you said in the beginning, the 9 traits or whatever.
Yeah.
I tried to write it down.
I'm trying.
It was one
truthfulness,
with
sincerity, integrity, responsibility, dedication, contentment, transparency.
And a lot of people don't have integrity either.
I don't think a lot of people know what integrity is. I really don't. It's a state of being honest and having moral standards.
Right, like kind of doing what you say, saying what you mean, kind of thing.
I've had loose morals over the years. I mean, I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, again, we're human, yeah.
You know?
I think we all have, but again, I if we're talking about this and you're kind of passionate about maybe we should be more honest, then that's something that could be a goal and we could work towards being more honest.
And how do we start being more honest? You think honesty takes self-reflection?
I'm sure. I think honesty takes digging within yourself and having the courage to be your authentic self and not worrying about.
Okay. But what if you're authentic? What if you don't know what your authentic self is? What if your authentic self is just a bunch of fucking shit that you just absorbed all your life? Never questioned, never did anything.
Yeah, you're right. Then you're going to have what we have a lot of today, I think.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and that's being honest.
So let's say this. I will say this. Maybe grab pen and paper and come up with 5 of your own personal values. Something that you value. 5 of them, Someone. I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying to anyone listening that cares.
Yeah. Well, fine. But here's the thing. Do we know what values are? Because here's the thing.
I do, but...
Oh, okay. You do for you. Okay?
Well, yeah,
you do. No, you do for you.
Yeah, but everyone's going to have different values.
But hold on a second. That doesn't mean that you're honest about anybody else's values. Why is somebody else's values different than yours? They're different, but why are they less?
I didn't say they're less.
But I'm saying, what I'm saying is that why if somebody values something different and somebody values something over here, why is it that we can't see
this is why, and I know exactly what you're saying, I think, Tell me if I'm wrong. But this is why I always say this is the whole discussion. And like for a while, there was this culture of validation. We have to validate. And I say, it's almost like we talked about before in an episode. By gaining something, you lose something. If I validate you, I invalidate him. If I validate her, maybe she feels invalidated.
But that's not true because you
Absolutely
can validate.
is. You just said it. You just said it right there. You just said, well, why is his less and why it's not? But we do it. That's how it happens. Like if my honest opinion is this, and this, and you say no, you're wrong. So this and this and this is right. So now I'm invalidated and you're validated. To me it's either horse shit or I don't really know how to get involved in it because that's the way I see it. Honestly, that's the way I see it. By invalidating somebody, somewhere along the line, you may not even know the person is going to be invalidated by that. Maybe that's part of life.
We're not completely honest. Maybe because we're not completely honest.
How about this? How about the pure honesty is you are so fucking arrogant that you feel you're going to go through life with nobody disagreeing with you and you're always going to be right? Maybe that's fucking honesty.
But in all honesty, though, disagreement is one thing. But when you create a whole world wrapped around that dishonesty, and it affects everybody, Yeah,
but I didn't do that. I'm not doing it.
It doesn't matter. You're complicit in it if you don't speak out about it. You're complicit in it if you ignore it. Dude, I'm not invalidating. I'm being honest.
I know,
like
but
that's a fact.
I know you said something along those lines before, and I just don't subscribe to that. Like if you don't stand for it,
to me,
then you're part of the problem. I don't subscribe to that because maybe I stand for it, and I might do something small here and there, but I just don't. It's not forefront. You know what I mean? Just like if somebody fights for animal rights. And I fight for suicide awareness and prevention. Nobody's right or wrong. Nothing's
dude,
less.
that's not even like. Look, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. That's you just fucking pulled a gumball and a fucking Twinkie. Not even the same. Not even the same thing.
All right. Well,
I don't really think that they're the same thing. Like animal rights, suicide.
It's somebody's. It's a cause that somebody's. That they're for, and this is a cause that I'm for. Just because I don't stand up for animal rights, that doesn't mean I want to fucking slaughter every animal that I see.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. There.
Just because I'm not out here with a T-shirt doesn't mean I don't care about animals. I don't have a dog, but that doesn't mean I hate dogs.
You just hate cats.
Well, I kind of do, but.
That's because you're an asshole, but that's all right.
See, no, that doesn't make me an asshole either. Just because
to me it does, and I'm being honest. But hey, see, look at that.
Okay, to you it does. Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that.
Just being honest.
Yeah, cats are just my thing with cats. They're in like ancient Egypt books and shit. They're just something weird with
What
cats.
do you have? What's the problem with it?
I don't know. They're like ghosts or something. They're not real animals. They're like sneaky and they're just dickheads. Like there's something on the table to fucking hit it off.
They'll sit on your table. They'll lay on your table.
Yeah, no, my table's not for a cat's ass. My table's for food and a pen and paper. No cat and no cat feet. Nothing. Get out. But again, it doesn't make me. I don't. You know what I mean? Like
cats, dogs, pineapple on pizza.
Right?
Pineapple on pizza.
I'd eat it.
All right. So would I. Okay.
I'm not saying I would like it, but I would eat it.
Oh. All right.
Now, is it just pineapple or pineapple and ham?
No, pineapple.
Just pineapple?
Yeah, just pineapple. I think.
Have you
I
ever
think
had
that was the experiment. That was like there was an experiment recently.
He's like, nope,
not
pineapple does not belong on pizza.
No, dude, pineapple on pizza is actually really good.
Yeah,
pineapple on hamburger is really good. I never thought an egg on a hamburger would be really good.
That is, really
and it
good.
is, dude.
That's
it's really good. Like, sorry, but it is.
Yeah.
Like that's just.
No,
look, I just want to preface this to everybody. Not everything has to be fucking heavy and suicide and all these bad emotions that we feel. Like sometimes you gotta have fun, sometimes you gotta laugh, sometimes you gotta throw shit at each other.
because I think
fun.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I think I think that's one thing that we kind of try to do, or maybe we just do it by accident. But I personally try to be mindful because I think it, like you said, it's just, talking about suicide in a heavy way, and it's just and and vice versa. Oh, and let's talk about our emotions today, and let's fucking laugh and swear and be real and be honest, right? Because
that's what honesty is.
What the hell? Like, why didn't we talk about honesty before? Like,
because we didn't have Kevin with us.
but for real though, like it's I don't know, like it's just I feel like it can help open up the conversations if it's a little bit easier, and we can throw in some humor and make people feel a little bit more comfortable in talking about these things.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
Because let's face it, there's some value in humor.
All right. Value in humor.
There's value in honesty.
There's value in honesty. There's value in this podcast.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, what's up? Share.
Like.
Subscribe.
Next week.
Get well.
Be safe.
Stay
above. Thank you for giving us a listen. New episodes every Wednesday. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, you can share, rate, review, and even subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Other ways to support the show: follow us on social media, share the content, share our episodes. You can also buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/abovegroundpod. For further concerns, show ideas, or just to say hi, you can email us at abovegroundpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening and supporting mental health. Keep the conversation going and stay above.